Vice Chair Tapia, you can just stay right where you are and present House File 1350, which is the DVS policy bill for this year. And see, House File 1350 will be laid over. Hold on one second. All right, we're gonna lay this bill out over for possible inclusion in a omnibus policy bill, but we haven't, so that will be the motion. And then there's an author's amendment labeled A1. So let's take care of that first. Vice Chair Tapke.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. The author's amendment is some technical changes to the bill that comes forward that came from the agency, from DVS, and so it would rather just go through everything with Mr. Zhang as we go forward. So if we put the A1 amendment on, then we'll talk through everything at that point.
Okay. Is there discussion of the A1 amendment? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the motion prevails. So we now have House File 1350 as amended before us. Vice Chair Tapke.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. So this is the DVS policy bill with a variety of technical changes and other pieces that affect how DVS works. And we have Mr. Zhang from DVS here to walk through the pieces of the bill.
Proceed with your testimony and welcome back to the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pong Zhang, Director of the Driver and Vehicle Services Division. And thank you, Vice Chair Tapke, for carrying this bill. I'll quickly walk through the sections of this bill and I will happy to be standby for any questions. So Section 1 makes a correction to 168.1235 that adds the Disabled American Veterans as a congressionally chartered organization. Again, this is something that we already recognize, just making a technical change here to reflect that in statute. Section 2 clarifies that DVS will not charge $100 to Gold Star Plate families. Another practice that DVS already employs, but a correction to reflect that in Minnesota statute. Section 3 removes some outdated language that refers to the commissioner issuing US DOT numbers. That is no longer a practice. That is only issued by FMCSA, and this is language that we worked with FMCSA on to clarify and remove. Sections 4 and 6 does a couple different things in terms of our dealer applications. It creates some explicit authority for DVS to deny applications in which there are intentional or negligent misrepresentations on dealer applications. It also designates at a minimum 4 hours each week that dealers need to be available for inspections. And it also extends the temporary license from 120 to 180, giving dealers a little bit more time to meet the requirements to be certified as a dealer. Section 5 removes some ambiguity, specifically the word customarily around the use of tow trucks, service trucks, or parts vehicle use, and just provides some clarity on when dealer plates should and shouldn't be used. Section 7 removes the requirement for a licensed driver to be included on an application following plate impoundment. We really view this as a redundant action, as drivers need to be licensed in order to operate a vehicle. And so the suggestion is to remove that requirement from the application process of an impound plate or a plate after impoundment. Sections 8 and then following Section 12 provides a provision where applicants can, for driver's license and IDs, can designate that they are the exclusive caretaker for another individual for the purposes of emergency notification. This was designed similarly to providing emergency information, although this would be the opposite, where the person would be responsible for another and would make it so that law enforcement could inform others if that person was not able to care for that person, whether they be a child or a vulnerable adult. Section 9 creates a remote application access for individuals incarcerated in non-DOC custodial facilities such as a county jail. We use this application right now under what is commonly called the Snowbird application. This just allows incarcerated individuals to access a remote application so that they can renew their credential if it expires during their time of incarceration. Section 10 corrects an error in Real ID statute and it makes Minnesota in compliance with federal law. It removes that a Real ID from another state could be used as a evidence of lawful status. And again, that just puts us in compliance with Real ID. Section 11 adds several documents to evidence Minnesota residency for Real ID purposes. And I'll just read through those additions. So it's a health savings account statement, retirement account statement, a student summary report from a high school signed by a principal or designated authority, affidavit of residence for group home, cooperative or religious order, assisted living or nursing home statement, an internet or cable as utility bill, excuse me. And then lastly, section 13 repeals two outdated provisions. The first of which is to remove the prohibition of providing motor vehicle data over the phone. This is just some old language that really restricts our ability and our business partners' abilities to serve our customers. Data privacy laws would still apply to motor vehicle data, and we would ensure that all data delivered over the phone would be in compliance with Chapter 13. And it also removes a provision in which applicants can use use a name other than their legal name. Right now, there is a provision that allows applicants to use a maiden name in lieu of their middle name. And it is something that just would not work in our modern process and where they're not using their legal name. And with that, Mr. Chair and members, I'm happy to stand for questions.
Thank you so much for going through the bill. A lot here to discuss. Representative West, you're first on the list.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Representative. And I think this is probably a question for the agency. So you said Section 9 about the prisoners remote applying for licenses. You say it's like the Snowbird application that currently exists. What difference in what the individual has to do between the Snowbird application and the prisoner application? Is it the exact same process, or what are the differences?
Mr. Zong.
Mr. Chair, Representative West, it would be the exact same process. It really expands that eligibility to those beyond that Snowbird eligibility.
Follow-up, Representative West?
And just to confirm, currently, law-abiding citizens cannot use a remote option to renew their license?
Mr. Zong.
Mr. Chair, Representative West, currently the law only allows for Snowbird applicants, so those who are not in the state to renew through this remote process. In our governor's budget proposal, we also do have an online renewal process that we've designed for the use for all Minnesotans.
Representative West.
And now this would be a question for Representative Tapke. Is there a reason you did not include that in your bill for regular citizens to be able to do this? Because this seems like something that'd be pretty convenient, and giving the convenience to prisoners instead of law-abiding citizens seems kind of odd.
Vice Chair Tapke.
Mr. Chair and Representative West, this is DVS's agency bill, and so this is including what they needed for technical changes and repealers and those kinds of things, and so that will come as a separate bill with the governor's bill.
Thank you for that. Representative Petersburg.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'm going to go refer to Section 9 as well, only because I know we spent some time on the floor dealing with felons and driver's license and whether or not you're on parole or not. And the question that I have, because I'm not familiar with all of this stuff. My understanding that is if you're convicted of a felony and you're incarcerated, your driving privileges have been revoked. And so I don't see under the definition of incarceration, of incarcerated individual or not, whether or not this applies to those that are felons or not felons. And so can you clarify that distinction there? Because I'm unclear as to what that all means.
Mr. Chair, Representative Petersburg, our intent is to make this available for anybody whose driver credential is still valid. We're happy to go through the language, or we'll verify the language to make sure that it doesn't include those who are ineligible. And again, these are specifically for individuals who are in a non-DOC facility, such as a county jail.
Did you have a
Mr. Chair.
follow-up, Representative Petersburg?
Yeah, I think that would, Mr. Chair and Mr. Jean too, I think that's appropriate because I think we need to clarify that so that there isn't a loophole for individuals that are there, because whether you're incarcerated in a jail or in a correctional facility and you're have been convicted of a felony, you want to make sure that that is the case, that we don't find ourselves providing for driver's license, et cetera. So that'd be something you want to look into. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Are there any other questions or comments from committee members? Discussion? Okay, any final comments from either the agency or the author?
No, nothing, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for taking this on, Vice Chair Tapke. And I understand there might be some other possible changes or amendments coming. So we're definitely gonna lay this bill over, and if members have any other issues or concerns about this bill, we do have a little time for further discussion. But I'm glad, Vice Chair Tapke, you got the ball rolling and on the DVS policy bill. And with that, I will lay over House File 1350 for possible inclusion in a future omnibus bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.